Welcome to African Voices Playmakers. I'm Larry Medowo in Rabat. And on this series, we're focusing on game-changing athletes from across the continent. This week, we're in Morocco, speaking to some of the people leading the football revolution here in the country. From the touchlines to the center of the pitch, we'll meet trailblazing women breaking the gender barriers in the sport. But let's start off right here in Rabat with a name that's become familiar to most Moroccans these days. They know him, they love him. It's head coach Walid Regragui. Under his leadership, the Atlas Lions scored a historic fourth place finish in the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. I caught up with him here as the team gears up for the 2024 African Cup of Nations.
Ce serait un peu exagéré de dire qu'on pensait qu'on pouvait.
It would have been an exaggeration to say that we thought we could even dream to win the World Cup. But we set out with ambition. And it's true that after the first round, we said to ourselves that we were capable of doing better. So why not go out and win?
Hello, it's Walid Regragui, coach of the Moroccan national team, and I am a playmaker.
It was a fairy tale performance that put Moroccan football among the few of this sport's elite. And at the center of it all, Morocco's national team head coach, Walid Regragui. Hailed as a hero by many, Walid keeps himself grounded after his success, but without letting go of his ambitions. So this is where you feel most at home, in the football pitch, right?
That is your pitch, man. You know, I want to see you in the middle pitch. You play football or not?
Very badly.
Yes?
I'm an African, of course I play football.
Yes, but
I play badly.
What is your position? You play defending?
A winger.
Winger?
Yes.
Ah, same of Ziyech.
Yes. But no, I'm a Kenyan, mostly we run.
Yes, you look to run a lot, you.
So when you're not playing football, what do you enjoy doing? Do you play another sport?
Yes, I play paddle, you know.
Oh,
I
yes.
have a game with my staff.
Right.
And after I like tennis, yes, and only that.
How do you feel about the African Cup of Nations? Do you think Morocco will do well this time?
What do you think, you?
Expectations are very high. Yeah. The whole world is expecting Morocco to win the African Cup of Nations.
Yes, but I think it's very hard. But we do your best for to enjoy your people, and you make your best. What is more important for us, you know? And
then the next big outing is the World Cup, the next World Cup. A lot of the global attention will be on you.
Next World Cup is for Morocco.
Walid's football dreams began playing as a right-back defender. He always hoped to represent his country in a big way. So you had the passion growing up, but when did you think that you could make a professional career in football?
C'était un rêve. C'était un rêve depuis tout petit.
It was a dream. I played in amateur clubs until I was 20 years old. Then, I had the opportunity to be recruited by Toulouse Football Club, and I was able to realize my dream of becoming a professional player. I didn't have somewhat of a logical career, but I managed to realize my dream late in my life, and that's what is important to me.
Which one did you enjoy more? Which one was more satisfying? And this is an unfair question. Playing or coaching?
Là où il y a le plus de plaisir.
Playing is where there is the most pleasure, of course. That is what I keep telling my players. For me, the best job in the world is being a young professional footballer. And more so, if you play to represent your country. I don't think there's anything better. Unfortunately, we only realized that we were doing the best job in the world at the end of our careers. And coaching, well, that's another job. Walid's
coaching journey started after retirement as a player in 2009. Among many achievements, in 2022, he took the Moroccan club Wydad AC to win its third CAF Champions League title in his first year as manager. His big break, however, came on the prelude to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. He went from being Morocco's national team assistant coach to head coach. You had a very successful international career, 45 caps. What made you decide to come back to support the Moroccan national team?
J'ai pas décidé, c'est venu.
I didn't decide. It just happened. When you read the story before the World Cup, maybe it's a sign of fate or an accident. I had just won the Champions League with the Wydad AC. The goal was to play in the Club World Cup. I had also dreamt of coaching in Europe one day, so it was part of the evolution of my career. Coaching the national team was to come perhaps much later. Then came the decision at the federation to change coaches. I think today everyone thought it was an easy challenge, but it wasn't. It was really complicated. I think that only a crazy coach like me will accept this challenge 3 months before the World Cup. No European coach would have taken on the national team, and I don't think there's a local coach who dared to take on the challenge. So then, it hit me. I accepted because I was doing it for my country, and playing a World Cup with your own country is the dream of every coach.
A year after Morocco's World Cup performance, Walid was recognized as the African Coach of the Year at the Confederation of African Football Awards last December. Let's go back to the World Cup and the quarterfinal game against Portugal. What was going through your mind at that moment, and what did that victory mean for you and for Morocco?
Il y a eu beaucoup d'émotions déjà. Premièrement,
We realized that the dream of every Moroccan was to stay and go to the quarterfinals, and that was the primary objective, to make our country proud. Our objective as a staff was to figure out why we couldn't pass this glass ceiling, this barrier that an African country could not reach the semi-final. Maybe it was mental. We had prepared well, but we knew we had Portugal. It was one of the best teams in the world with Cristiano Ronaldo, but we were ready. I think the players proved it on the pitch to pass this milestone, to make Morocco proud, and to show that Africa was capable. And that helped the players. It boosted them to seize the opportunity.
That mentality brought results that have positioned Morocco among the favorites to win the 2024 African Cup of Nations. Morocco has not won the African Cup of Nations since 1976. So there's a lot of pressure going into this competition. How do you think you'll do?
We have important goals. In this training center, there is a photograph there of the Moroccan national team, which are the last winners of the African Cup in 1976. Every day when the players come here, they look at the picture and get inspired. My goal as a coach is not to remove this photo, but is to put a new photo of the next winners here. We're not going to lie. We know that Morocco hasn't made the semi-final in over 20 years. I was a player when we made the last semi-final in 2004.
With Qatar in the rear view, Walid and the Moroccan national team hope to strive for bigger accomplishments. So you say that an African team can win the World Cup. Do you think it will happen anytime soon, and will Morocco be that team?
Maybe Morocco, maybe another African country. The objective is for Morocco to remain relevant and constantly qualify for the World Cup. We must be in this competition regularly. What keeps me going is passion and the love for my country. That's what allows me every day when I get up in the morning to carry the weight and the pressure I feel from 40 million Moroccans. More than 40 million if we count the Moroccans throughout the world. As a coach, I think it's all about giving your best and not having regrets. And that's what keeps me going every day.
Next, a head coach determined to change the game for women in football. Welcome back. Hasnaa Doumi has carved a path for herself and other women who strive for leadership in football. This former player has broken the glass ceiling, making history as the first woman to coach a professional men's soccer team here in Morocco.
I think that Arab women have the skills needed to play in the biggest clubs, but first we must give them the chance and trust them. Hello, my name is Hasnaa Doumi, the first woman to train a men's football team in Morocco, and I am a playmaker.
Hasnaa Doumi's football ambitions draw inspiration from the best in the game.
كفريق يعني كنت يعجبني فريق البارسا.
I'm a big Barca fan, and I'm a big Guardiola fan when he was leading Barca. But I'm also inspired by Walid Regragui and Jamal Salami, who for me are young new coaches who will continue to shine in the future. To tell you the truth, I like to learn a little from all my predecessors. As you know, football is continually evolving, and we must not stop moving forward.
So you started out playing with the boys because here in Morocco and across Africa, football is mostly a game that boys play. What's your earliest memory of playing football?
I was still a student when I started playing football. I was studying in a small school, and I already dreamed of being a professional player. I always arrived early, 2 hours or more before classes started, to go play with the boys. One day, a man spotted me and asked me to join a club. The idea immediately appealed to me, and I spoke about it to my parents, who encouraged me a lot.
Hasnaa went on to play professionally with the SES Atlas 05 Moroccan Women's Club and is a recognized figure in her hometown of Fiki Ben Salah. But her football career really took center stage as a coach in early 2023. So how did the opportunity come about for you to coach a men's football team, which would be a first for any woman in Morocco?
I first worked as coach of the Fiki Ben Salah team as an assistant to coach Moussine Khoury for 2 years. We faced several challenges during these 2 seasons within the Beni Mellal Regional League. Because of the poor results, they decided to renew their technical staff. It was a Monday. I was doing my job as usual when I received a call asking me if I would agree to coach the team. I was very surprised, but that's how the adventure began.
So how did you manage to overcome the challenges of being a woman coaching a men's football team? What was that like?
Before I started coaching the team, they were ranked bottom and were under threat of relegation. We made joint decisions among the technical staff. The Fiki Ben Salah players were young and motivated. They also had a very good technical level, but they lacked the psychological factor, and that is what we focused on. A week after I started coaching them, we played against the top-ranked team, and we won 3-0. This gave the players total confidence and saved them from relegation.
Hasnaa was given a role at the new Centre Fédéral de Formation de Football Beni Mellal. She hopes her new job empowers the next generation to pursue their dreams. Tell us about the difference between coaching kids and coaching adults.
Of course, there is a big difference. We ensure that we train players who are worthy of representing the national team, of being part of the A team, and why not, developing their international career. As far as children are concerned, we do not focus on the result, but rather on training at all levels, physical, tactical, and psychological. While for adults, we are looking for players ready to play professionally and capable of winning championships.
What are your ambitions as a coach? What do you want to do next? What are your dreams?
My dream is working with the women's national team to represent my country, and why not one day have an international career.
Next, a fearless woman takes officiating a football match to a new level of authority. Welcome back. Fairness, consistency, and common sense. These are the essential qualities for becoming a good match official. For our next playmaker, they're also the exact ingredients she needs to succeed in both her professions: football referee and police officer.
I do not intentionally seek to make choices that go against the grain, but I like to do what feeds my soul, whether it's within sports or the profession that I practice. God has stood by my side throughout my whole career.
I'm Bouchra Karboubi.
I'm Bouchra Karboubi. I'm a policewoman and football referee, and I'm a playmaker.
Bouchra Karboubi has learned to be unapologetic about following dreams.
I learned discipline, self-confidence, self-reliance, persistence, and determination.
Commanding alongside her peers in the Meknes police headquarters, she's become an inspiration for women in Morocco.
I have always dreamt since I was a child of becoming a policewoman. It was more than a simple choice. It was a vocation. And I'm grateful that I was able to practice the job I have always dreamt of. It's not just a livelihood, but a real passion. I'm a police officer for 24 hours a day, and as soon as I finish my duties, I go to the gym or train on the pitch daily. We are continuously monitored by FIFA, the CAF, and the Moroccan Federation of Football. Whenever I have to attend a match, I ask for authorization from my superiors to be able to travel in Morocco or abroad. Once the matches are over, I go back to my work and family. These are two demanding jobs that require a little bit of sacrifice.
That sacrifice has definitely paid off. Bouchra was the first female referee in the Arab world to call a men's final during the Moroccan Throne Cup in 2022. But her path didn't always align with tradition.
I started playing football from the age of 11 until I was 14 years old. My school friend was a football player, and she always invited me to come watch her play. After one session of training, I was hooked. That's when I decided to start practicing football regularly, but without telling my family about it. Girls had very few opportunities to play. There were few national teams, but no women's professional tournaments. Taza, where I was born, is a small and very conservative city. It was not common at all to see a girl wearing shorts and playing sports. My brothers were against the idea of playing football, but my mother knew how much I cared about football and helped me a lot so I could play in secret. They went from being against me to supporting me fully.
Despite a short career as a player, Bouchra found her true calling in football, playing a different role.
I became a referee in 2001 and when I was 14 years old. That year, the first school of referees was founded in Taza. I had more opportunities as a referee than as a player, as there were no women's professional tournaments. So I started refereeing matches for the little, cadet, and junior leagues of men's games and kept climbing up the ranks until I became a national referee and later on an international referee. My big inspiration is the late Mr. Sayed Belkoula, who used to be an international referee. He was a role model for a whole generation of people, passionate about football in the Arab world and in Africa. He remains to this day the first African and Arab referee to officiate a World Cup final, and he's a great role model to look up to.
Her unwavering commitment as a referee demands a tough morning routine before every engagement. Today, she was the fourth referee for the official women's friendly match between the Moroccan Atlas Lionesses and Uganda's national squad, the She Cranes.
I knew the second referee who was with me during the African Games in 2019 in Morocco. As for the other two referees, this is the first time I'm working with them. But since roles are very different, all four of us communicate as best we can to complement each other and ensure the match runs smoothly.
Even though Bouchra broke through the glass ceiling, she's continuously advocating for equal rights and opportunity for women in her country in the sport she loves.
It was indeed difficult for women to defend their right to choose to play football. But today, mentalities have changed, particularly because of the achievements of women in the World Cup. Since I started my career as a referee in 2001, and for 20 years, I have been dreaming of officiating at the World Cup. I was very lucky to have the chance to be the referee of the match between Vietnam and the US last July. I spent the first 3 minutes of the game thinking of how I started and how I managed to make it to the moment. Overall, I was so proud and happy to be the first Moroccan and Arab referee to officiate as a central referee in the Women's World Cup.
3 Playmakers are helping transform Morocco's football legacy. With so much investment supporting their work, Walid Regragui says nurturing talent is only step 1 on a tough road ahead. Describe the growth and transformation of Moroccan football, because Moroccan football is on fire right now.
C'est un processus.
I think it's not a process that happened overnight. I would like to thank His Majesty for all the efforts he made over the last 10 or 15 years, and his vision, which has been important for the development of football. When you see the infrastructure that we have today in Morocco, the stadiums, the organization of the African Cup in 2025, and the organization of the World Cup in 2030, you understand that it's a process. The dream for me as a coach is that the future Messi or the future Maradona is born in Morocco.
Hasnaa Doumi hopes attention is also paid to female talent across the country.
Moroccan football has experienced remarkable progress. The same goes for the women's team, which participated in the World Cup for the first time and were able to reach the round of 16. Morocco has accumulated several milestones, and we must capitalize on them. We have all the conditions to progress and raise the flag even higher.
For Bouchra Karboubi, the dream is developing talent on and beyond the pitch to make Moroccan football Africa's model to follow.
Morocco and the African continent were very well represented in the last Women's World Cup. But we aim for future times to reach better levels, whether for the players or the referees, of which I am part of. I was recently in Abidjan, where I passed the tests reserved for men so that I could referee men's matches. I'm very optimistic, and I hope I will be selected as a field referee for the 2024 African Cup of Nations, not only as a VAR referee. I also hope that my achievements will open doors to a whole generation of female referees who will have the chance in the future to officiate in those big events. And who knows, maybe the next step will be the Men's World Cup.
That's our show. Remember, even when we're not on air, we're always online. Go to our website, cnn.com/African Voices, for past, present, and future shows, and connect with us on our social media. I'm Larry Medowo in Rabat for this special edition from Morocco. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.